one, discretization of the continuous system. In the last session, we will study about the Z transform equation and then how to find the ROC using the Z transform equation with the different input signal. Okay, so which type of signal that we have studied in the last session, like the one-sided signal, two-sided signal, and the step input. Now the next here today's first of all the what is the Z transform. As you know, in the mathematical and the signal processing, the Z transform is convert a discrete signal which is the sequence of the real or complex number into a complex frequency domain representation. So it is also can be considered as a discrete type equivalent of the Laplace transform. So what is the main purpose using the Z transform in the advanced control theory? So whenever we deal with the field in the instrumentation, all the transfer functions are in the S domain. That is the continuous time signal. We have compulsory convert this continuous time signal into the Z transform. So that's why we will study about the different input signal using the Z transform conversion, and then we have to find the ROC using the properties of the Z transform. Okay, so today's the first example is obtain the Z transform of the following, and the input signal is unit ramp, and we have already know that in the control system we have four standard input signals, that is the unit step, unit ramp, unit parabolic, and unit impulse. So today we will obtain the Z transform for the unit ramp function. Now what is the unit ramp function? So whenever we change the input signal with respect to time, output will be changed. So this is the output of the unit ramp function. So what is the unit ramp equation? X of t, that is equal to t for the time t greater than equal to 0 and the 0 when the t less than 0. So for that, since it is the unit ramp function, as you know, it is the change with respect to time. So the equation will become x of kt, that is equal to kt. As you know, k is our the sample number, and the value of the k is varies from 0 to infinite. Clear? Okay. So x of z, this is the standard equation of the x of z. It is the summation of k starting from the 0 and ending with the infinite x of kt z raised to minus k. So that is equal to summation of a is equal to 0 to infinite kt z raised to minus k, because for the unit ramp x of kt, that is equal to kt. So we have replaced x of kt with the kt. Now the next step is x of z. We have common out the term t. So t summation of k will be vary from 0 to infinite k z raised to k, because here the value of the k is varying only. Okay, because k is our sample signal. Now, so we can get x of z, that is equal to t in this bracket z raised to minus 1 plus 2 z raised to minus 2 plus 3 z raised to minus 3 up to infinite. So this is my equation number 1 for the unit ramp signal. Now this is the z inverse. We have common out the term z inverse, so we can multiply the z inverse both the sides. So z inverse x of z, that is equal to t into z raised to minus 2 plus 2t into z raised to minus 3 plus 3t into z raised to minus 4. This is my equation number 2. Now we have to subtracting equation number 1 and 2. So we can get 1 minus z inverse x of z, that is equal to t z raised to minus 1 plus t z raised to minus 2 plus t z raised to minus 3. Okay, so 1 into 1 minus z inverse into x of z, that is equal to t z inverse in the bracket 1 plus z minus 1 plus z raised to minus 2 plus infinite. So here simplify we have this equation and we have common out the term t z raised to minus 1. Okay. So what is the equation of the ramp? So 1 minus z inverse into x of z that is equal to t into z raised to minus 1 upon 1 minus z inverse z greater than 1. This is the ROC of this unit ramp function. Clear? So x of z that is equal to t z raised to minus 1 upon 1 minus z raised to minus 1 square. Okay. So simplify this equation. We can get the final z transform equation of the unit ramp. It is x of z is equal to t into z upon z minus 1 square. As you compare with the input signal step and then you have easily identified that ramp function is always depend upon the time. Okay, whenever it is a continuous signal or the discrete signal. Clear? Now the next is obtain the z transform of the following and we have given a polynomial function x of k that is equal to a raised to k where the value of the k is 0 up to infinite and it is 0 for k less than 0. So first of all we have to write the equation of the standard z transform that is equal to x of z is equal to summation of k is equal to 0 to infinite x of k z raised to minus k. Okay. Now we have put x of k is equal to a raised to k. So the equation will become k is equal to 0 to infinite a of k z raised to minus k. Clear? Now the next step is we have to simplify this equation. So we have to common out the raised to k term. So we can get summation of k is equal to 0 to infinite a raised to z raised to minus 1 in the whole bracket k up to k. Okay. Now next one is so we can get x of z that is equal to 1 upon 1 minus a z inverse where the a z inverse that less than 1. We have to simplify this above equation and we can get this type of z transform. Again we have to simplify, we can get x of z is equal to z upon z minus 1. So you have to remember the final equation of this polynomial function that is useful to find out the stability of this control system. Okay, so for the polynomial we can get the equation z upon z minus 1. Okay, clear? Now the next one is obtain the z transform of the following and we have deal with the exponential function x of t that is equal to e raised to minus at where the t greater than equal to 0 and it is 0 when the t less than 0. Okay, so for that in considering the z transform of the time function with the x of t, we consider only the sample value of x of t. That means x of 0, x of t, x of 2t, x of 3t. Where the t, as you know, t is our sampling period. So whenever we deal with the z transform of the time function, that time we have only considered the sampling value. Okay, so for the exponential function, x of z is equal to, as you know, z of x of t that is equal to z of x of kt. So put the value of z of xt in the standard z transform, we can get summation of k is equal to minus infinite to infinite x of kt z raised to minus k. Okay. So the next is x of kt that is equal to here the exponential function. So that is equal to e raised to minus a kt. Put the value in the above equation, we can get x of z that is equal to k is equal to 0 to infinite x of kt z z raised to minus k, put x of kt is equal to e raised to minus a kt. Okay. So the next is x of z, that is equal to summation of k is equal to 0 to infinite e raised to minus a t z raised to minus 1 and the whole bracket raised to k. So we can get x of z, that is equal to 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus 80 z raised to minus 1 and the ROC will be greater than 1. So this is the simplified version of the exponential function x of z, that is equal to z upon z minus e raised to 80. So you have to remember this equation for solution of the transfer function whenever we deal with the discrete time signal. Okay. Now, the next one is obtain the z transform of the following sine function. We have also obtained the z transform of the different function like sine, cosine, tan function. So here the sine function is given x of t, that is equal to sine omega t when the t greater than equal to 0 and it is 0 when the t less than 0. Okay. So, as you know, we know e raised to j omega t, that is standard equation, that is equal to cos omega t plus j sin omega t. And if we can deal with the e raised to minus j omega t, that is equal to cos omega t minus j sin omega t. Okay. So for that, we have to put the value of sin omega t in this equation. So sin omega t, that is equal to 1 upon 2j in this bracket e raised to j omega t minus e raised to minus j omega t. Put this value in this z transform equation and simplify the z transform and find the z transform equation. So first of all, now we know that what is the z transform e raised to 18, that is equal to, that we have to study in the earlier example, that is equal to 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus 18 z raised to minus 1. So x of z, that is equal to z sin omega t. Put the value of sin omega t, that is equal to e raised to j omega t minus minus e raised to j omega t. So we can get 1 upon 2j in this bracket 1 upon 1 minus e raised to j omega t z minus 1 minus 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus j omega t z minus 1. Okay, we have to direct derive this equation using the above equation. So we can get x of z, that is equal to 1 upon 2j in this bracket. In the numerator, we can get e raised to j omega t minus minus e raised to minus j omega t z raised to minus 1 upon 1 minus in this bracket e raised to j omega t plus e raised to minus j omega t bracket completed z raised to minus 1 plus z raised to minus 2. This is the simplified version of the above term. So we can get what is the value of e raised to j omega t minus e raised to minus j omega t, that is the sin omega t, and for the plus term it is the cos omega t. So we can get sin omega t z raised to minus 1 upon 1 minus 2 cos omega t z raised to minus 1 plus z raised to minus 2. Okay. So we can get x of z, that is equal to z sin omega t upon z square plus 2 z cos omega t plus 1. Same like we have to find the cosine function and the tan function using the z transform standard formula. Okay. Now the next one is obtain the z transform of the simplify this transfer function, and the transfer function is given 1 upon s plus 1. So first of all, we have to partial fraction of the term, and the term is 1 upon s plus 1. Now what is the partial function method? We have to find the value of a and b. So the equation will become 1 upon s plus 1, that is equal to a by s plus b by s plus 1. So find the value of A and B. So the simplified version is S plus 1 that is equal to A into S plus 1 plus B into S. Compare the both side terms here. The with respect to s, with the coefficient with the s, the term is 0 in the left hand side, so we can put a plus b that is equal to 0 and the constant term is 1, so we can put here a is equal to 1. That's why we can get simply b is equal to minus 1. Put the value of a and b in this equation and we can get 1 upon s plus 1 that is equal to a is equal to 1, that means 1 by s plus b is equal to minus 1. So minus 1 upon x plus 1. Okay, so taking the Laplace inverse, we can get x of t that is equal to 1 minus e raised to minus t greater than equal to 0. So now we have to convert into the z transform. So x of z that is equal to x of 1 minus e raised to minus t that is equal to, what is the z transform of 1? So that is equal to, it is the unit step function. So we can get 1 upon 1 minus z inverse. Okay, so you have to directly write this equation like this. And what is the z transform of e raised to minus t? It is the 1 upon 1 minus e raised to minus t z inverse. So whenever we deal with the different transfer functions, what is the method? So first of all, we have to partial function of this transfer function or the equation. Then we have to find the value of a, b or c. Put the value of the abc in this equation and then compulsory we can take the Laplace inverse. So we can get the equation in the form of t and then we have to convert into the z transform. So this is the z transform of the equation 1 upon s plus 1. Okay, so in this exam, any transfer function is given, you have to first find the partial function, then the value of ABC, then we take in inverse Laplace, and then last step is you have to find the z transform of this particular equation. Okay, so this is a simplified version of this transfer function. Thank you everyone.